Hi, everyone. Welcome to Little English Podcast, your cozy space to learn English in a simple and relaxing way. I'm so happy you're here. Take a deep breath, get comfortable, and let's improve your English together, one small step at a time. There are moments in life when everything you once relied on no longer feels certain. Plans fall apart, relationships end, things you believed in don't hold the same meaning anymore. And suddenly, you're left with something unfamiliar. A quiet space where things used to be. It can feel like you've lost everything. Like you're standing at the beginning again, with nothing in your hands. Starting over sounds inspiring when people talk about it. But when you're actually in it, it feels heavy, unclear, lonely, slow. And sometimes, you don't even know where to begin. But maybe, starting from zero is not the end of your story. Maybe, it's the place where your real life begins. 1. When everything falls apart. No one really prepares you for the moment things don't go as planned. We're taught how to succeed, how to move forward, how to keep going, but not how to begin again. So when life shifts suddenly, you feel lost, not just because things changed, but because you don't recognize yourself anymore. The version of you that existed before doesn't fully fit now. And that's uncomfortable, because now you have to ask, who am I? Without all of that. 2. Starting over feels like losing. But it's not from the outside. Starting over looks like failure, like something went wrong, like you couldn't hold things together. But starting over is not always about losing. Sometimes it's about outgrowing. Outgrowing a life that no longer fits. Outgrowing people who no longer align. Outgrowing versions of yourself that no longer feel true. And growth doesn't always look graceful. Sometimes it looks like breaking. Sometimes it looks like letting go. Sometimes it looks like standing still while everything else moves on. But that doesn't mean you're going backward. It means something inside you is changing. 3. Zero is not empty. Starting from zero feels like having nothing. No direction, no clarity, no certainty. But zero is not empty. It's open. It's a space where you're no longer confined by who you used to be. No expectations, no fixed identity. No pressure to continue something that doesn't feel right anymore. And while that space feels uncomfortable, it's also full of possibility. Because now, you get to choose again. 4. Rebuilding is quiet work. Rebuilding yourself doesn't happen overnight. There is no big moment where everything suddenly makes sense. It happens slowly, in small decisions. Waking up and choosing to try again, even when you don't feel ready. Doing simple things when your mind feels heavy. Taking one step without knowing the full path. Most of the work, no one sees. No applause, no recognition, just you, showing up for yourself. Again and again. 5. Learning to trust yourself again. When things fall apart, you don't just lose what you had, you lose trust. Trust in your decisions. Trust in your judgment. Trust in your ability to get things right. And rebuilding yourself means rebuilding that trust. Slowly. By keeping small promises to yourself. By listening to what feels true. By choosing honesty over comfort. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to start believing that you can handle whatever comes next. 6. You don't have to rush this. There is no timeline for rebuilding your life, no deadline for becoming okay again. Some days you will feel strong, some days you won't. Some days you will move forward, some days you will feel stuck. That's part of it. Healing is not linear, growth is not predictable, and you don't need to rush to prove that you're back on track, because maybe you're not meant to go back to who you were. Maybe you're meant to become someone new. 7. The version of you that emerges. If you stay with the process, something begins to change. Not suddenly, not dramatically, but quietly. You become more aware of what matters, more honest with yourself, less willing to settle. You start making choices differently. Not from fear, not from pressure, but from clarity. And one day, you look back at the version of you who thought everything was over, and you realize that was the moment everything started. So rebuilding yourself from zero is not easy. It asks you to sit with uncertainty, to let go of what was, to move forward without guarantees. But it also gives you something rare, a chance to begin again, not from who you were told to be, but from who you truly are. So if you feel like you've lost everything, maybe you've just cleared the space for something real. And this time, you won't just build a life, you'll build one that actually feels like yours. Thanks for spending time with me today. I hope this episode made your English learning a little easier and more enjoyable. If you like this podcast, don't forget to follow the channel so you won't miss the next episode. See you again soon and keep going. You're doing great.